when I like turn on the live thing, it takes like 6 to 8 seconds for it to go live. So we should be live. We're looking at the chat. Thanks everyone for joining. Of course, weekly Assassin's Creed podcast focused on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Of course, joined by Frankie Boy Fragnard. How are you on this lovely
I'm
Wednesday?
doing fine right now. Thank you so much. Not a lot going on right now in the gaming world, except for the Elden Ring DLC, which every channel is going crazy about. But we are the last stand of Assassin's Creed this week.
We don't forget. Yeah, what do you think? You're of course going on a break after this. Kind of jealous. What can you like say what you're gonna do in the next couple weeks?
All right, yeah, sure. It's my last stream here for a month, or no, I'm actually joining the next one. But
the next one as well. Okay.
Yeah, I will be in Los Angeles for a secret thing that you might want to keep your eyes open on the channel for the future, of course.
Okay.
But it's still secret, so we can't say anything further. I will be on holiday in Norway, which is awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
On the tracks of Eivor. I will be in Berlin at some Assassin's Creed Magic event. Also saw that. Yeah.
I got the cards.
Oh.
I got the secret lair cards.
Ah, you got them.
Yeah, did you get them as well?
No. I don't have any cards yet. But I will play it on the event in Berlin.
Oh, nice.
So, a lot to talk about after that.
Are you a Magic player?
Not yet. So
Not
it's
yet,
like I played some Magic, but I wouldn't say like I'm a Magic player. Like the game is so deep.
Yeah.
It has so many different formats or game modes. Gotta get into it.
Yeah, no, I've played quite a lot actually. Commander, regular, draft. It's quite a lot of fun. So when the Assassin's Creed set was announced, it was like, oh, that's awesome. And yeah, it's of course they're doing all these crossovers to get new people to play Magic. So yeah, I'm curious to hear your
That's the goal.
experience after
Getting new guys in.
Yeah, for sure. And the cards they've revealed so far looked very cool. So
yeah,
that's
awesome.
Thanks everyone for joining. By the way, I already see some people dropping questions. Like that's kind of that was my question as well to you. Like, of course,
drop questions
from now till probably Gamescom. There's not gonna be a lot of Assassin's Creed Shadow stuff, but I think that from Gamescom to release, so that because that will be August, like mid-August, till November will be like September, October, like 3 months. But I think there's gonna be way more like stuff going on. And right now we're kind of, I think, in what will be the quietest time before the game comes out. So like this is the July window we just at Ubisoft Forward. It's kind of after this. I mean, again, they will come back at Gamescom probably. So I was like, should we do the show every week still? Especially because you're gone, or should we just come back when there's stuff to talk about? What do you think? And I'm curious to hear what people think as well. I mean, we can just switch it on, talk about whatever we feel like with you and discuss things. But I do feel that at one point we will hit we already talked about this before. Aren't we like, focusing too much on things that have already been revealed? What do you think?
Yeah, I would totally let the community decide, or let like the info dumping decide on how to stream. I mean, I will be gone for 4 weeks or so, almost whole July. So next week we can still do a show. I will be gone for 10th, 17th, 24th, and 31st as well.
Damn,
because I'm actually... Oh, damn, I didn't tell you that yet. I will be in the Czech Republic. There's a publisher as well I will be visiting. And
that sounds cool. Yeah, if you can't say anything, don't say anything, but...
No. I can mention the country I am in.
Okay.
And you can think about the rest and what that means.
Yeah.
Or could mean, of course. But not a lot going on. I mean, it's like the typical summer hole for the gaming
July
industry.
Is always. Although this year, I gotta be honest, like there are some big games dropping that are like not your AAA titles, but we got like Once Human as like an interesting looking open world game. I'm not sure if you looked into that game. We got Sendless Zone Zero from MiHoYo that I know people are curious about. The first Descendants, which like kind of an Outriders style other free-to-play game. We got Flintlock, Siege of Dawn. We got the Avatar DLC. There's a ton happening in July. Usually it's like crazy quiet. I mean, you're not gonna miss anything, I still feel like. But yeah, there is still, like, there are big games releasing that might be of interest to us and to the people.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, Zenless Zone Zero, I already played it. Did you already play it as well?
No, but I looked into it a lot. Yeah.
No. I had like an activation with them. And it was fun. Yeah, curious about the Skybreaker as well for Avatar. But yeah, the game still has a lot of problems that can't be solved by DLC yet, I think.
I have not touched it since December, so...
Yeah, same for me.
I mean, they have been updating it, though, a lot, so maybe things are better now.
Yeah, maybe. It was fun, but... Yeah.
I just want to stream the DLC. Maybe do it in one playthrough. I hope it's like like something like that. Maybe that will be fun.
Yeah, totally. Depending on the length of the DLC content.
I think it's gonna be cool. But
and you should totally do like a 24-hour stream when Assassin's Creed Shadows is released, right?
I mean, I'm kind of like of two minds about it, and I can like ask everyone watching as well. Like that's what I feel with. I mean, with the Elden Ring DLC, we did like a very long stream as well. That was really nice. But I feel for something like Assassin's Creed Shadows, because it's very story heavy. Do you really want to see the game? Like, you want to experience that for yourself, right?
You always do those spoiler-free open world
roaming
I mean,
I'm just
right?
like exploring the open world. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Maybe I should do like a longer stream than normal for that. But I feel going through the main missions, I don't think is serving anyone, because, yeah, people want to just see that for themselves. Maybe only people who are like on the fence about buying the game want to see that. But then at one point they will be like, okay, I know if I'm gonna watch, I know if I'm gonna play or not, let's leave. And for example, for Elden Ring, sure, I know a lot of people are like, they don't want to see a lot from the bosses and stuff. But yeah, still, if you start from the beginning of the game, from the DLC at the stream, you will at one point reach the first boss that was already announced anyway. So I feel there's like, I mean, maybe like a big open world, because just like with Valhalla and Odyssey and Origins, there will probably be a ton of open world stuff, even if I've already finished the main story, that you can still go do. So that might be fun to stream.
Yeah, maybe there are some tough enemies you can beat or so that are almost spoiler-free. But yeah, back to should we do a break or not? I think it really depends. Maybe people in the chat maybe we can do a poll later on or so.
Yeah, we can do that at the end of the show. Then can people decide, do we want another 4 or 5 weeks of this?
I mean, it will be kind of naturally turn one or the other direction, depending on the content that is there, or if if you're doing a stream and there's no news since 8 weeks, maybe topics run out and there's nothing to talk about. So yeah, maybe a break would be beneficial. I just
want to know that people like that they tune in and know, okay, there's actually something interesting to talk about, which will be the case today. I mean, I see a lot of questions already. We can quickly nuke out some few of those already. Yeah. But I don't want like this to be, oh, there we go again and there's nothing new. So we have to kind of think that, but we will at least do it next week, because that's when you are still there, and then kind of see from there. But it might be like, I think this show will be the most fun when the game is out, because then I do think we will have something new to talk about every week, because they will keep updating the game. So we can talk about the changes, we can talk about the new events, the new whatever they are adding.
Hoping for live event style, like for Odyssey. Every week we have a new quest with a tough enemy.
Yeah, that's what they did in Odyssey. So that would be fun to discuss. And if they I would be shocked if they are not like following that same cadence as Odyssey, where every week there was like a Lost Tales of Greece or something as well.
I mean, the post-launch concept of Odyssey was great in my opinion, and that combined with the post-launch content of Valhalla, maybe with the seasons, etc., that would be like a nice package for sure. Shadows as well.
Yeah, because also Valhalla had a kind of a false start, right? They launched the game in a poor state, so they had to go fix things first, and then the first DLC was in May, like Wrath of the Druids, so like half a year later, while for Origins we already had the hidden ones in January, so like 2 months after release, and then Curse of the Pharaohs in March. Like they had way more stuff planned. Odyssey as well. Of course, the first episode for the Odyssey DLC was already in December, 2 months after the game came out, which was kind of crazy.
It was fast, yeah.
Yeah, they were really quick, and they had like a plan prepared. And for Valhalla, it was like, oh, we released the game, now let's do post-launch instead of like
Let's
already
do
having
bug fixing
yeah.
and some post-launch and some DLCs
And-
later on.
Yeah, and that post-launch trailer had like concept art of what the things are going to be, and they said like the river raids, and they showed like gameplay of an actual raid in the base game. Like they did not have anything prepared, so I hope that will be different this time. But let's quickly, because again I named this episode answering your questions, and I think that will be
Yep.
fun to do as like a sort of returning thing, because I'm sure people will have questions, and I'm already seeing questions that have already been answered before, so I think we can nuke them out very quickly. I'm gonna scroll up in the chat to see if
The first message actually, like from Jet Lanor.
yeah,
think we
Jet Lanor,
already
thanks for
answered it.
joining. Odin Arrow and Thomas as well, of course. Skata, good to see everyone in the chat. So yeah, you wanna do the first one?
Yeah, sure. Do you think we'll get another gameplay before Gamescom? That's what Jet Lanor asked, and I myself don't think that we will likely see anything before. I think they will reveal something at Gamescom, of course. Maybe people get to play something. I'm not hoping for like that cinema style for Skull and Bones. You remember that when they showed the Skull and Bones gameplay in the cinema? Yeah, that was not like that thing I was hoping for.
No. I would be shocked if the game was not playable at Gamescom for people, including us.
Yeah. So I don't think there will be gameplay before Gamescom. I think there will be like a little bit of silence right now, and we can enjoy this sound of silence for now, which is sad, but yeah, I think.
Now I'm gonna say I do, like maybe not a lot, but
May say a little tease or
I think they're gonna do something before Gamescom.
Okay.
I think like Assassin's Creed is the biggest thing Ubisoft has, and they've been really good so far with from reveal to Ubisoft Forward to have something interesting with the puzzle box and stuff like that. I have to look at like what the marketing was like for the other Assassin's Creed games, but I totally think that they are going to do maybe a short trailer, like a Yasuke trailer or a Naue trailer, maybe something like that, where it's like, and then we see some more parts of the game, kind of teasing that gameplay already that we will see at Gamescom maybe. I don't know. I think they're not gonna go quiet, because they, of course, also have social channels to run. At one point, I do think they're gonna open the doors for a few new things.
yeah.
Maybe
But it's
tease
still a
the-
long while to the release. 5 months.
Yeah, but to Gamescom,
Yeah.
it's like we're
Yeah.
it's like a month and a half. So I think that maybe in like the next 2 weeks we will not have anything, but then maybe after that they will. I mean, we still have a lot of systems that they have teased, but that we don't really know about. Like the settlement is the big one. They really seem to have a plan for that when they're gonna talk about that. So I totally think that is like one of the maybe Gamescom focuses. By the way, a fun, interesting fact about the settlement is that you can probably see the other characters standing there, which is kind of cool. So if you're like either playing Naue or Yasuke, if you go to the settlement, you can see the other character.
Is that a fact or
That's
are you
something I
guessing
learned
that?
from my interviews. I still have
Okay,
quite a lot of
okay.
info that again, I'm not expecting a lot of news, so I want to like space things out, but I still have like a lot of interesting tidbits like that. And I want to like touch on one news story during this episode as well.
I'm curious about how the community likes the fact that the other character will be waiting in the settlement and you can kind of see him or her doing the things there. But I would prefer them to be like busy themselves outside and maybe even meet them outside the settlement. That would be crazy. Maybe you have some like a mission system for, I don't know, Brotherhood, where you can send the other character out to maybe, I don't know, farm something or so, or like gather recruits, and then you can escort the character, or you could do something else and maybe accidentally meet him or her. That would be awesome. I don't expect that, to be honest, but It would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, so what I learned was that there will be parts in the story where like the one character has to go to a different like region, for example.
Mhm.
So then also when you switch, that character will be in that region. Well, normally if you switch, the character will be close by. Not like Syndicate where you just stand like at the exact same spot. I think that's how they did it, right? While like they will be doing something close by, so they will go to them. But if for a main story mission, Yasuke is like at the other side of the map, you will transport to that. But it seems like maybe after the main story, they will just be chilling at the settlement. That's at least what I think.
Okay,
But,
okay.
yeah,
And by
it's
other
interesting.
regions, this could be like in Valhalla, where Eivor had to go to Canada or so. What was it
No, no,
called
no.
in the game back then?
Finland. I think you mean,
Finland,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think like still in the map. So, like Osaka maybe, and then nowadays in Kyoto or something like that.
Mm.
And then, yeah, when you switch, you will be in that city.
Teleported.
Yeah. But that it makes sense. Like, okay, Yasuke says, I'm going there right now. I'll see you later. And then if you switch, it's not like, oh, Yasuke is suddenly back. Like, no, he will still be at that location that they actually said they were going to be. So that's pretty interesting. Let's look at more questions real quick. How long will the main quest be? I asked that, and no, like, deliberate answer on that, sadly. I was kind of like scared because they said, I asked like, did you take any learnings from Valhalla? And they said, I'm not commenting on other games. And I was like, but one of the key like critiques from Valhalla was that it was way too long, and you're not like looking at that. That's kind of weird. So yeah, we don't know the answer on that. Charles is asking how big the map will be. We of course know that already. It's gonna be the size of Origins.
But we don't know what Origins had a lot of dead spaces, like simply desert, nothing to do in there. Maybe it will be filled with life. Maybe there will be just a mountain you can climb with nothing on it or so. Or maybe with something of relevance on it. But yeah, I mean, size is not the thing for the fun in an open world game. And it's all about density and events happening.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's
Yeah,
about...
no, I am expecting more, things going on in each region. More like Valhalla instead of having the sort of... I mean, in Origins it made sense, and I think those regions were pretty cool. But yeah, it was 1/5 of the map or something. That was basically nothing. So
yeah.
Let's see. Are we getting a new... Arp Knight is asking, are we getting a new modern day character, or will it be Basim, or will it be like Unity with basically nothing? I mean, we don't really know a lot about the modern day, but I totally think they will include Basim somehow, because that's kind of where they ended things. But I do think we will get new characters as well, because with the Animus Hub, formerly known as Assassin's Creed Infinity, they will kind of reboot the modern day, so people who are jumping in will get an understanding as well. So yeah, I'm expecting new characters, but maybe we are our own character or something, and then first person style again, we go interact with those new characters. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I hope they at least have playable modern day, because it's not gonna be part of Shadows anymore, but it will be living on the hub. I still think it will... I hope it's not like only cutscenes, but actually playable. That would be kind of cool.
We also had like that hidden cutscene in Assassin's Creed Mirage, you remember it? Where the voice lines were like back then, those characters.
Yeah, it was
so
like
people,
hinting at a future, yeah.
Yeah, people took that as a hint for a future modern day, so that might be the case as well. If that is the case, then it's only possible for Basim to be still living, in my opinion. In other ways, every other character wouldn't be there in 70 years.
They already said though that the Mirage team did an AMA, and they basically said everything that was not in the game is not legit.
It's not part of the lore. Yeah.
So
I mean, of course, it isn't legit if it's not in the game, but it somehow was in the game. But they somehow decided not to release it. Maybe for, of course, lore changes, always possible.
Yeah.
Or just to keep the future more open and not to be on a narrow path. So makes sense to say that it's
100%.
not lore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, but we should not like take a lot of like make a ton of conclusions or out of that. So
I think people love to do so, though.
of course, but that's because we just don't have anything else to go off. So of course, at one point that will change. But like my prediction really is gonna be like Shadow. Like I think Gamescom will be about the settlement. They are going to spend more about the engine as well because it's the first game again on current gen consoles. So I totally think they will discuss that at one point, like really put a focus on okay, what are we actually doing and improving for future Assassin's Creed games as well. Maybe they're gonna combine that with like a good presentation about the Animus Hub because they have to talk about that at one point as well.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna focus a bit more on Shadows and then in October maybe reveal the Animus Hub. And I still hope that they launch it before Shadows. I think that would be cool to already have that sort of client on your screen so you can like see a countdown to Shadows. And by the way, I said it last week. I think it's fun to do a countdown. We're now 140,
Makes sense.
141 days till launch.
Wow. We're getting closer. Yeah, also makes sense in terms of cross promotion for older games. Also like using old games for cross promotion as they always do. They added like this Twitch drop armor right for Valhalla. And I think they might. That would be cool, but I'm not sure if they want to do it like this Roshan pre-quest for Mirage that was happening in Valhalla.
Yeah. They have to do something.
Like that.
I mean, even Origins had a quest. Had the Origins a quest for Odyssey? It had like an... Odyssey had like the Viking armor set. Origins must have had something for Odyssey. Maybe people in the chat know.
I'm not sure if it had. I mean, it was like the first game as a service, really. In my opinion, like Odyssey was the first one, the real game as a service. They added those armors, though, in Origins. I don't know. Maybe the chat knows. Swarm intelligence is always the best thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Jordan is not playing the game right now. It's footage that was already released. I saw that question. Yeah.
This is me. Pressing square to pad. Let's go.
But nothing is happening.
No, here we go.
Oh, you did it!
Yes, this is me. I'm like perfectly replicating the gameplay.
You were that leaker with the scarlet screen. Oh, I shouldn't tell anyone.
No.
But I just saw you use the PS controller, so that couldn't be the Scarlet leak because Scarlet is Xbox.
See, I'm covering up my tracks. I'm covering up my tracks. VFAC is asking, will the Animus Hub be available only on PC? No, it will be on PlayStation 5. I mean, it's gonna be similar to the Call of Duty HQ. But I hope it's not gonna like take over for 300 gigs or whatever it's gonna be. That would be crazy.
I mean, they are making progress in terms of space usage, maybe like erasing some missions that you already played from the SATA also. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
People in the Twitch chat are like curious if we're gonna take their questions as well. Of course, let's do this. Thanks, Nadal, for joining. We have like a quick one that we can experiment. 21 is like, do you know if you can play the whole game with only one character? Like, there will be a tutorial for both, and then at one point they will like meet up and they'll be like, let's be friends, let's do this together. Then in the open world you can pick whoever you want to play. Again, you should be able to switch to any character outside of restricted areas and combat. So yeah, then you can play the whole game with one of the two characters, but there will be some personal missions as well that only make sense for one character. So I would say my prediction is 90%, at least that's what Ubisoft is kind of like alluding to. 90% of the content, maybe even more, will be playable with either one. So that's interesting. Matteo, like future expansions, visit other parts of Japan. I mean, they already said that there will be more lands. So, totally expect that in the future. I mean, they only have a relatively small part of Japan.
Yeah, last episode we talked about the area.
Yeah.
And it was revealed via the Collector's Edition video by Ubisoft themselves.
Yeah. No, actually,
In a
yeah,
s-
they had the full map there.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube chat is more active.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But if you want to go to Twitch, everyone at YouTube, head over there if you're feeling
No, don't need
comfy. no,
to.
don't need to leave.
No.
Okay.
Stay on YouTube there. You get everything there. Nadal, will the game be 60-30 or both? I would be shocked if they don't do a performance mode. So yeah, I totally expect that. But we have not heard anything about it because, again, it is the first current gen only game. But I would be shocked. I mean, I don't think the game looks that visually stunning to be like, okay, they're ditching the 60 FPS. I know that's very important.
It looks better, but in terms of physics, etc., that's like the most impressive things. Those oranges right there. I mean, they should totally be splashing around when Yasuke is stepping on those, but
that will be part of the next game. Probably.
Yeah, the next gen.
Yeah. Okay, this one is interesting from Apathetic Tuna. Do we have any info on if the gear will be more like Odyssey or Valhalla? I like the RPG systems, but both games were on the opposite extremes when it came to collecting loot. Valhalla had too little. What do you think? I mean, we don't know any info on this. I have thoughts, but I'm curious to hear what you think about the gear system.
Yeah, I think we already talked about the gear system in detail last episode or in the last episodes. And right now it's not really clear what will be happening. We already know we have 2 different weapons that we can wield at a time and we can use to switch. We have abilities connected to those weapons. So weapons will be very relevant. As for the gearing, we don't know much yet or anything really yet. Right now, the feeling is that if you choose a certain character, the way to play is already kind of fixed. So having a gear set would only like make a small statement, or it would maybe like enable totally different playstyles like super smoke bombs or I don't know, something supernatural. But right now I'm feeling like the gear would not make a big change from the gameplay that we've seen. I'm hoping for different, but from what we've seen, I think gearing is not like the thing we will really have to dive in. I think it could be more like in Valhalla where you like pick up an armor and then play through the whole game with that armor and it doesn't really matter if you have the skill. Maybe like there's a small effect, e.g. in Mirage we had like maybe like when you parry you have a little bit increased damage for Naue, or if you dodge, something like that, like small buffs that maybe fit your playstyle a little bit better, but not make you like a superhuman Cassandra-style Isu armor wearing super warrior. I don't know. Right now I'm feeling like a more grounded approach and armor might not be the most important thing in the game, which makes me sad, but yeah, I think it might be this way.
Yeah. Kyber, thanks for the donation there, the super chat. We'll get to that in a second. I think you're kind of nailing it, Frankie boy.
Frankie boy. Still funny, right? The name.
I think it's a nice name. Because like if we go back to the Origins and Odyssey gameplay, and I can like pull that up real quick. Then we see what was part of that gameplay reveal. Let's see. I hope I don't.
Right now we don't get like this ignite your weapon, get some buffs feeling we had back then.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure if they also revealed it with the first gameplay trailer of Odyssey, or if it was more grounded than the actual gameplay we got.
Yeah, no, what I'm like kind of alluding to, let's see, we could like quickly do it like this. The E3 presentation, and then
Astrobots.
Going here.
Yeah, I played Astrobot as well, and it's super fun.
Oh, nice. What was asking about
that? Someone in the chat. Edo.
Okay, nice. So yeah, here we had the Odyssey gameplay, and yeah, you saw immediately loot in that gameplay, right? And even this, and with that,
what lucky people we were back then. So much info.
I know, right? Seeing the menu always makes me so excited. Even in like Shadows, they removed the sort of top things right here. But we had this in Origins as well. We saw Bayek get like a bow, like a legendary one. Valhalla's gameplay, I don't think, had any of that. They had the gameplay overview trailer where we saw Eivor like open a chest and get a loot. My point is basically that it was also not in the Shadows gameplay. We did not see anything about loot or other stuff, and that really makes me think that we're going for a Valhalla system, so that it will be.
There was loot in Valhalla, but sorry. Yeah.
No, you're right. There was totally loot in Valhalla, but like that was kind of the question: is it gonna be like Valhalla or Odyssey, where Valhalla just had not a lot of loot, and that like I think maybe Odyssey and Origins had a bit too much loot. Like you would constantly opening your inventory. It doesn't have to go that crazy, but with them both having the same outfit on all the time, with them not getting a loot drop from this boss, like why is it not in your gameplay reveal if it's an important part? So I really
you want to advertise it if it's a feature,
right? You wanna like give people the idea that like okay, we're like why is there not a pop up or anything? Maybe they removed it because okay, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna show you something that I'm not sure if you noticed it, because another thing is where's the XP, and I'm not sure. Look, because they have removed some things. Okay, we're gonna go here, like killing that assassinating that enemy. Here we see the XP.
Yeah, and we also see it filling a little bit of a square bar.
This is Valhalla, right? This is exactly the same as Valhalla. Instead of like having your regular XP bar, that was how it was, right? In Odyssey and Origins, you had like your XP bar.
Maybe also, I think we already talked about that. Maybe only missions grant XP, so you killed the target and fulfilled the mission by that. But
that's another like big change.
Another thing,
that I liked getting. Even if it was only 10 XP from every enemy, because then it feels like every time, even if you die and don't succeed, you still are working towards something. You're still finding loot everywhere. Again, maybe they're hiding things. This could totally be possible. But Naue did not open a chest in that camp. Yasuke was not getting any loot from this boss. Like, I really think if that was an important part of this game, they would have shown it. That's kind of my point.
Yeah, maybe, or the system is not worked out yet, which might also be a bad thing. So
that's like what happened with Valhalla. I played the game in July EU as well, of course, and like the July before it came out, and every gear item I picked up had no perks. They just did not have them ready yet in the game, which is
maybe that's the case as well here. So, but yeah, Valhalla's gearing system was so easy and so flat, so it was totally implementable.
For Odyssey, it was already in the game. They only switched things around. Like, I remember getting that ability where you could, like, breathe indefinitely underwater. That was, like, a perk on one of the Spartan war hero gear set items instead of on the trident.
Okay.
So
makes more sense on the trident.
Yeah, for sure. But they already were thinking about that sort of stuff. So Cyber's asking, thanks again for the super chat, if there isn't something like the Divine Dragon fight in Sekiro in future Mythology DLC, I'm gonna riot. I think more people with you. Like, I would be shocked if they don't do like a mythical DLC, right?
They always do that. First one grounded, second one mythical is the way to go. Oh, well, they changed that up with Valhalla, so they had like the Paris DLC as the second one. And then the third one was mythological, and the fourth, free one as well. So, yeah, and I think people quite enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, it's like a winning formula, it seems, right? To have a more grounded, maybe Assassin's Creed lore-focused DLC with the first one. Legacy of the First Blade, the hidden ones. For Valhalla, they both I mean, for Valhalla it was different because they already knew from the start we're gonna probably do Dawn of Ragnarok, so that's why they kept kind of the mythology for later. Although Rev of the Druids, of course, went kind of crazy with some stuff as well. But they did not have any like Assassin's Creed focused DLCs in a way, like really focused on, more of the
being
lore
an
side.
assassin. Yeah.
Um,
Well, maybe for I don't know, Legacy of the First Blade was kind of Assassin's Creed lore, right?
No, for sure. But that's what I was saying. Like Origins and Odyssey had that, and like they had an Assassin's Creed lore focused one, and then the mythology one. But Valhalla had two Viking ones, and then a mythology one. Which
Yeah,
was
I mean
interesting.
Valhalla was very weak in terms of assassin lore in general.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like the bureaus and stuff, but that's kind of where it ended.
hinting to Cologne. So
Yeah.
maybe Hexa will be in Cologne. So
Yeah, that's it. That should be awesome.
Yeah.
We like I see multiple questions about the DLC. Like C Shep is asking and Vivek as well. Will they do 1 year support for Shadows or 2 years, like in Valhalla? And Vivek is asking, did you ask about the post-launch plan? How long will it be supposed to, the season pass? Like, they already said when they revealed, when it was still called Codename Red, that they want to support this game for even longer. Like, what was, of course, the thing with Origins that kind of... I mean, every Assassin's Creed game, of course, like, not every, but, like, most of the ones had DLC, but they just didn't do, like, a more live service type approach. That kind of started, of course, with Origins, with the Reda missions, and then having the Trial of the Gods. Ubisoft Connect challenges, of course, really focus on that. But that was kind of a short window because Odyssey came out 6 months later after that post-launch came to an end. And then Odyssey had a relatively long cycle because Valhalla was 2 years later. Odyssey was like, I think, 1 year. And then Valhalla, of course, was 2.5 years. Like, we had Dawn of Ragnarok. Then after that, we had the Forgotten Saga and stuff. Like, I think the first year of Valhalla, or they had like 2 years of DLCs, but they already said it's gonna be longer than Valhalla. So we can at least expect 2 years of stuff and probably 3 years. Because what they are kind of changing is, again, Odyssey to or Origins to Odyssey was 1 year, Odyssey to Valhalla was 3 years, or 2 years. Valhalla to Shadows will be 4 years, which is kind of insane. But yeah, they don't want to have another big RPG Assassin's Creed really quickly after Shadows. So instead, they want to focus on DLC, while probably some team inside Ubisoft Quebec is making the next game. But yeah, I'm expecting 3 years, and then we don't have anything Assassin's Creed RPG related, and then in 2028 we get like the new RPG, maybe something like that.
Maybe. I mean, with Assassin's Creed Shadows and the Animus Hub in combination, we have like the perfect formula for long-tailed Assassin's Creed content. And yeah, as Jordan quoted, they already said that. So they're gonna give it a lot of support. We're gonna have a lot of years of fun, hopefully, with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And yeah, to be honest, it seems like a formula that makes sense in terms of economy. I'm not too sure how the content will play out, if it's just cut out style content. But the Animus Hub is like perfect for small DLCs as well. And maybe bringing those characters to other settings as well, or so, in small portions, and try out other things. Yeah. I'm quite hyped for such a long tail. If the game is nice enough and has some interesting mechanics for endgame, maybe, or so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be totally like story depending. New story DLC, play through the story, finish, full stop.
No, I don't think they will do that. I mean, Odyssey had a lot of like systems that, of course, continuously happened, like the mercenary and the conquest battles that you could continuously do if you wanted to engage with that. I did ask about New Game Plus, and they did not want to say anything, but that tells me that they are already looking at it. Like, usually when you ask about New Game Plus and they are like no, then you have your answer. But if they're like kind of cagey about it, then I would be shocked if this game doesn't have New Game Plus, especially with the 2 characters. Would be weird to not do that.
Can't confer, can't deny.
No, yeah, exactly.
Like
but
the
I think for
classic.
Valhalla it was like, no, we don't have New Game Plus, and then you're like, okay, what the heck? But like, Cyber, thanks again for your generous support there. Is saying here, if we go by the leaked titles, Hexe is in 2026, Nebula in 2028, so it's either 2020, 2030, or 2032 for the next RPG AC. I mean, sure, like that's of course another. By the way, the 20th super chat in the stream. That's in what I don't know what they're counting here. Maybe since they're counting, I don't know. Either way, like that's of course like they're gonna support Shadows a lot, but the whole franchise will be a lot different as well because, like you already said, they will have the Animus Hub as well. So maybe instead of putting all the resources towards new content for Shadows, they instead are gonna spend some money on shorter Assassin's Creed experiences that are not inside Shadows, because that's what they are aiming to do. Instead of having only one game that is alive and getting new content, they want new Assassin's Creed experiences every year with the multiplayer game in 2025. Again, as Cyber is saying, Hexe 2026. Nebula is the Ubisoft Sofia game from...
Isn't that the Aztec one or
yeah,
the India?
Yeah, with 3 different settings like Mediterranean and Aztec and...
India?
I want to say India as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I...
Super curious about that, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be because they want to have a mainline game, at least that's what Tom Henderson has been saying, and he has of course been right many times before. Like they want to have a tentpole release every 2 years. So that's gonna be your $130 Ultimate Edition game. Let's just call it that. Like that's gonna be their this is gonna be a huge mainline title, right? And I'm not sure if Nebula will be that. Right? I don't know. Doesn't sound like Ubisoft Sofia. Like
maybe they are going
Rogue.
like a totally different route in the future with Nebula, like having 3 settings. You can like release it piece by piece, totally in the Animus Hub, and have like small portions released. The first, like with the Odyssey DLCs, Chapter 1, India, Chapter 2, Aztec Empire, Chapter 3, Mediterranean Room, and then release it every...
Yeah, I think you're nailing it. I think that's probably what they're doing. Kind of like the Chronicles games, that of course also released.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, yeah, Chronicles.
Yeah, so that I think that's probably what they're looking at for Nebula. So I would not rule out... I don't think that's going to be a big mainline game, which leaves room for 2028. But I do think that the Mirage team could be like, 2028, that's when we release our, I don't know, big, old school like game. That is really focused on stealth again. And then 2030 might be the RPG, but then 6 years without a new RPG.
Hexa seems to be like the first really break of style right now.
Yeah. It seems more like Uncharted or so, like more like linear in a way. More God of
maybe.
War like.
I was totally thinking about Kratos right now, and we have that approach with, I think she's called Elsa, like the Disney princess, and having magical abilities. It seems like a supernatural thing, which makes sense because it's called Hexa, which is witch.
Don't you think that's maybe why they're making Shadows more grounded? Because they already know,
contrast?
Okay, we have Hexe where we can have the main character turn into a cat. Let's not go too crazy with Shadows.
Yeah, makes totally sense.
Yeah.
I mean, having contrast is always interesting. It switches things up, gets people excited again, or maybe not excited, but yet another target audience excited could be the case. And let's see.
Yeah.
What was that pest game called with all the rats?
Dishonored?
No. It was quite a smaller RPG where you played like a woman and you
the Plague Tale?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was what I was thinking when I heard about exactly Plague Tale, about Assassin's Creed Hexe.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because it also has like a European setting. I would not be surprised if like the kind of feeling will be similar to that. But yeah, that's not gonna be an RPG, and yeah, maybe
It isn't.
2028 is too fast because I mean Shadows was also made in 4 years, but I maybe a lot of people from the Shadows team will instead work on big DLCs and then start like later because that's I mean at one point I think that's what's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I think I've said it before, but will this be too much? Because like already having Shadows with a ton of content, presumably like after launch, and then also having all these other experiences, a multiplayer game that will probably have seasons and a battle pass or whatever. Like, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, I think at one point you gotta make choices. You can't play everything again. While right now that still costs you a ton of time, but it was possible because they were all launching without like another Assassin's Creed title fighting for your attention as well. That I think will be difficult in the future. I mean, I saw people say the Black Flag remake here, saying that. Yeah, that's also something that they will probably have
Hmm.
in 2027 or 2028. And Assassin's Creed 1 remake is probably on the horizon. We know there's a Assassin's Creed Raid or like a co-op game. So they will get crazy. And
Especially PvP games can be time sinks, as
oh
you
yeah,
stated,
for
and
sure.
you might not be able to play both games at the same time. Oh,
And to be
well,
fair, though,
yeah,
they had the multiplayer like in Black Flag, of course, as well. Like they had the separate competitive mode already in previous games. So, but yeah, it will probably be way bigger than what that sort of extra mode was. So,
mm.
but yeah,
So a lot to be looking forward to. But right now we're looking forward to Assassin's Creed Shadows. We got yet another questions from Andy. Were you guys disappointed with the confirmed new social stealth won't be a part of the game? You want to start?
we I think touched on that a bit as well. I think
Yeah.
like for Yasuke, it never made sense, so I think that's fine. And for Naue, I think it would have been cool, but we talked about it as well, where it's like do it if you have if you actually have a new way to do social stealth, right? If you actually are going to improve it a lot. Um, did you play Liberation?
Yeah, with the 3 outfits you can swap, and that was what I was thinking immediately. It would be fitting for Naue
Yeah,
to change into yet another outfit and then be socially stealthed.
yeah.
And yeah, same thoughts. For Yasuke, it doesn't make sense at
No,
all.
no.
He's
Even if
always
he changes
attracting eyes.
outfits, he will still attract attention, and that's fine. Like I get that, but for Naue, it would have been cool if she could like wear
Yeah.
a I don't know, a servant outfit or whatever, and then there will be
Maybe
like
it will
some
be part of a story mission where you can only play her, and then you dress up as like something as like someone. But in general,
yeah, it's not part of
general
the
social
gameplay
stealth
loop.
isn't in the game, so that's I'm sad about it, kind of.
Yeah, I
But
think it's an important feature that they should focus more on. But again, they are. I mean, I prefer them including actual new things for Assassin's Creed, like the whole destroying lights thing and
yeah,
yeah, and sort of the prone and stuff. I think that's like a lot of fun. So I prefer that over having social stealth again because I just in the RPG games it usually just did not really work that well. Anyways, I mean we only have Valhalla as that, but even Mirage that brought it back, I just didn't really use it. So I hope that for the if the Mirage team is really working on a true okay, this is an old school action adventure 15-hour Assassin's Creed game again focused on one big city. I hope that that is where they look at social stealth and be like, okay, how can we really make this as best as good as possible for this game? Yeah, it's sad. but
yeah,
overall,
yeah. The game has to be made in a fitting way to
yeah,
like give social stealth a proper stage, and maybe
yeah,
Hexe will do so. Maybe not. Curious. But for Shadows, yeah, it simply doesn't make sense really to give that tool to Naue as well because she's attracting all the hype. Everyone wants to play her anyways, and Yasuke It's just Yasuke standing beside.
They really have to, they really have to beef the Yasuke part up.
I did a survey as well on my channel,
really?
by the way, on that
What-
topic, and I had, I think, 10,000 participants.
Damn.
Let me quickly check. 10,400 people voted. Will you play a preferred Yasuke or Naoe? 74% said Naoe and 26% Yasuke. So,
Okay.
I mean, 10k people, that's a lot of people putting out the opinion.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a statement that they have to advertise more of Yasuke, what he's capable of, and what he can
for
do.
sure. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get something of that info in the future.
I think my theory will be, though, that I think Yasuke will be post-launch more and more interesting. Because at one point, I do think, sure, like doing the stealth. Like, I just think that Naoe will not really grow as much post-launch as Yasuke, if that makes sense. Because what really changed the gameplay a lot in Valhalla were the new weapons that were added, or the new armor sets, the boss fights. Like, going into a boss fight as Naoe, I mean, it could be fun. It's probably way more challenging because you die quicker. But I think that's where Yasuke, like, if there's going to be a mythical expansion, I think Yasuke will be way more fun to play there, personally. And I think we will be getting crazy, maybe easy weapons or awesome, gear sets that we can hopefully still get through a sort of Reda system. And I think then trying that on in combat, like, has always been way more fun. I don't know what they're really, like, of course, at one point Naoe will get an ability where if she assassinates an enemy, that target will disappear, right? That's like a thing they always do. So she will get that, but it will still be, you are still just sneaking around with the things you had at the base game. You still have your tools, unless they add new tools. That would be cool. If there's like a weapon that you can, that they add a new weapon that then can also be used as a tool. I hope they go crazy like that. But I think a lot of people at launch will play Naoe. Post-launch, there will be way more things that make Yasuke interesting, but we will kind of see.
Yeah, I can totally imagine Yasuke getting like Isu weapons in the future, and then having like a blazing Isu mega katana slicing through enemies. I can see that. And for Naoe, I don't know, maybe some stealth tools as well, but
we know every weapon has an assassination, so that will at least be fun. That when they add a new weapon, she has like a new thing you can do in combat, but we will see. Let's
yet another questions. Or
so yeah, we have Andy's question just thrown in. But can Yasuke do basic parkour? I mean, we know he can climb a ladder. He should be able to. I think it might be, and that is shocking to me, less than an Eivor, but he should be able to. He totally should be. Yeah. I don't know. Ken is asking, what's your opinion on the AC Shadows merchant shop production? Milk production. I don't get it.
On what?
Yeah, no, I don't know. We still have our predictions, of course. Did you already think of one?
I was just thinking that I forgot to think of.
Okay, I still have some time, and that's why I wanted to remind you of it. I already put mine in the doc. We also have some news that I alluded to earlier in the episode. I'm gonna just throw up the tweet. I think that's the easiest thing to do.
Talking about
and I want to like ask
or...
the iOS thing. We don't have to touch on that. Basically, in short, Mirage, of course, came to iOS, right? There are now websites that are kind of saying that it was only downloaded 3,000 times. So you can download the game for free, and then after an hour or something, you have to pay for it, of 2 or 3 hours. But only 3,000 people, according to that website, have done that, and that's not a lot. Like that.
You're in Alamut. Bing, buy it.
Yeah, buy it now. But yeah, that kind of shows you that people just don't want these AAA games on their iPhone. Like it's just you don't want to use that battery for that sort of stuff. Because then you would be doing it at home, because otherwise your battery would drain and you're out and you want to use your phone for other things. So why not use a bigger screen then, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, we got Assassin's Creed Jade for smartphones.
Where is it though?
Where is it though? I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. But it's too quiet. I would not be surprised if Ubisoft takes it back from Tencent, because it seems like Tencent is not interested in it anymore. But they paid like a lot of money to Ubisoft to get the license for that game and work on it. And they have been working on it in-house. Like, it's not a Ubisoft team working on it. But I would not be surprised if... I mean, Ubisoft is still going to launch other mobile games like Rainbow Six Siege Mobile and The Division. I think they're going to look at those first and be like, okay, do we want to do this? And if one of those is popular, then they might be like, yeah, let's pull Assassin's Creed from Tencent. Because... And that is actually what I did not think would happen. But I got more excited for Jade now knowing that Assassin's Creed Shadows won't be as big of an RPG as I anticipated. Because Jade will be Assassin's Creed Odyssey 2. Like, everything about it. So I'm more excited for it now than I was pre-Shadows, if that makes sense.
Makes sense, of course, yeah. But yeah, smartphone games is always difficult with AAA games.
Yeah, if the game is not designed for smartphone, it just...
Especially if you don't use a controller on your smartphone. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for Mirage, it's like that game was made for console. Let's make it work on mobile. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. And I don't want console games to be made with mobile in mind. I mean, we have the Genshin Impact examples. That does work fine, but it's still... You don't want console games and PC games to be restrained by the fact that they have to work on a mobile phone in general, I think. So I want to quickly touch on this. Stephen Totilo has also been... Like, I really have not checked a lot of interviews from Ubisoft Forward, but I'm always kind of disappointed where it's like you had 20 minutes and you didn't get any information about the game. Like, what are you doing? But Stephen Totilo actually did get some interesting things. He actually was like talking about the social stealth, and then of course, like we discussed last week, that it's not in the game. But he also said this, and I want to put up a poll about this. As with other recent Ubisoft titles, there will be optional exploration setting. The version demoed in LA, where players collect clues to track down targets' objectives, and a simpler version that just makes the objective on the map. That just marks the objective on the map. Basically, exploration guided modes are back, but they really probably, if you don't touch those settings, it will be by default on exploration mode. And I'm not sure if that was the case for previous games, and it seems that even that exploration mode will be even like tougher than before. And of course, still guided mode was really like, here's the icon, go there. We will still, if you go to a viewpoint, not see icons on your map. You will just see like they won't even do the drone view. You will just get it as a fast travel point, and then kind of as if you were using binoculars, look around, and then spot some things in the environment, kind of like Immortals. And I think Zelda had that as well. So what is your stance on exploration mode versus?
I mean, they always have it in the games. They have like different kind of modes to make the games easier, to make them available for everyone who doesn't want to really dive into the games. So I guess that's kind of a good thing. I'm not one of those elitists saying, "Yup, don't make my game easy. I want to beat it as a successful player." So it's always great to have options to choose from, in my opinion. I think it's quite interesting to like have this quests and track the targets down. The way they also created with a quest box, right? We got as a riddle.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like the same thing, and it should already demonstrate how it could work in the game. Yeah, so I think it's good to have like both to choose from. Ubisoft games have always been like, yep, here's your target. So people might be also expecting it from it, and be disappointed if it's not possible for them to play it this way. So yeah, I think it's okay.
yeah, good that they have the option at least. But yeah, they really seem to focus on the clues, and of course the spy system will, be like a big part of it as well, where it's like, hey, we now actually have to help NPCs to get them as a spy, and then use that to be like, ring. So far though, with the feature that they showed in the gameplay, it doesn't seem to go as deep as maybe people expected. I mean, we don't know yet, but if it's just like the sort of thing that we saw here, where it's just like, okay, so you have a scout over here, so every time you help an NPC, or I don't know how you get these scouts, but we can of course think of things. You just get an extra dot, and then when you like open up the map, you can press square and then ping, and then that costs you a scout. I hope there's more to it though, because that just, I don't know, that seems like a very easy implementation.
Yeah.
Because now we lost one of those dots.
Maybe it's too easy, I don't know, but Ubisoft games have never been famous for being hard. So
no, but I hope there's more depth to those systems. That's actually what I mean. Yeah.
I'm curious what the community thinks. Right now, exploration mode is preferred. Get the clues and then dive right into it. Also, remember to participate in the survey. It's just below the chat or above the chat, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
We have Candace asking, do you think Yasuke and Naue will fight each other and possibly kill?
Oh, wow. Possible.
Kind of like
Totally
asasin.
possible, and would be a big shock. But I'm asking, what about the microtransactions you get for them?
And what about the post-launch? If you kill off one of the two characters. Like, I totally think they will... I would not be surprised if they were going to fight each other.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, and that you can then pick who you want to play with and against, which should be fun.
And maybe the other one is then blocked for some hours or some missions.
Yeah.
But then they say, yep, I was so wrong.
Yeah.
Now
Sorry,
I'm
I
back.
should not have hurt you. No, it was my bad as well. But let's work in the shadows.
Or I could imagine they add in more characters later on to make it like a real brotherhood.
That would
I'm
be
not
so
too sure
cool
about
if
that.
there's like a third character that we like. I'm not.
Or
gonna
10
get my
more.
hopes. No,
And then
that
it
would
becomes the MMO and it's called World of Assassin's Creed Craft.
Yeah. World of Assassin's Craft.
Yeah.
No, I personally think they will have the fight probably. They will have an encounter, and then similar.
At
to
least in
this-
the intro, maybe.
Yeah, at least in the intro. But what Ubisoft usually does is that when they have that fight once, they will bring it back, because they of course made these systems, and then for only doing it for one fight doesn't. I mean, that's the same with Roshan, right? Are we? I mean, we had a Roshan fight during the
With
tutorial,
Alexios.
and
with,
then later as well. So I would not be surprised if they're. But we won't kill any of those. Like, they will stay alive. That would be shocking.
Or you're having a mirror fight in your dreams. Also a classic. Fighting against yourself, yeah.
As a skin is saying, definitely gonna fight at some point, since Yasuke is attacking Naue's village under Nobunaga. Yeah, exactly. So that's probably, he will destroy the village and then be like, what am I doing? And then Naue will be like, who are you? Let's kill you.
Watching the blood on your hand.
Yeah.
And then realizing, what am I doing with my life? Hi, Naue. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, exactly. But that will probably not be after. Like, that would only be after sometime. Like, or after a fight, they will realize, hey, we need each other.
Also, interesting fact: Yasuke was historically seen only like serving Nobunaga for a year or so, and after that, there's no documentation about what he actually did. So. They can be totally free about anything. Oh, they actually announced they are going crazy with it, so it's not like they're sticking to the real facts that are out there. Yeah, and that's cool for me.
Yeah, for sure. And he also asking, like, do you know if there will be no wide room confessions? That's weird that we also... I mean, we have not seen that. Like, I don't... Maybe they cut it out, but again. It was like a weird gameplay review.
Or maybe the target was not like...
that special. I don't know. Yeah, possible.
also the case,
but
maybe.
Valhalla had it for every character, but that it was just a very short interaction.
But people were extremely hyped when they found out about that feature.
Yeah, but that was
I think
a lot of things with Valhalla. It was like, oh, they're bringing it back, but how, right? It's
for me, it was like at the peak in Origins. I loved it in Origins.
yeah. By the way,
Yeah,
my groceries are getting delivered, and they're now at the door, so I have to quickly open up. You please continue.
Yeah, have a great one, and I will speak to you in the next video. All right, guys. So, any more questions in the chat? Will there be a love interest? I'm not sure about that, to be honest. We have 2 characters, and love never played like a real role in Ubisoft games, right? We had that romance features in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but they didn't really change anything. So maybe there's something like that in the game. Maybe some NPCs you can like hook up with as one or the other character or as both, but I don't think it will play a deeper role if that feature is in the game, right? So I don't know. Right now, also the preference exploration mode is still preferred. 73% preferred right here, 75% on the other platform. All right, so just a few guys interested in guided mode, and I myself, to be honest, I sometimes really enjoy playing in guided mode because you simply just you play and have fun and have a great time, like brains off, controller on. You simply go in. Sometimes you want to get clues, solve the riddle, or be Elden Ring style deep in. Wow, that was insanely fast, man.
I'm the Flash.
We were like, I think.
Well, what were you talking about? Sea Shep is saying yours back. Quick, change topic.
We were saying about discussing romance features. I just said I'm not expecting it to be a big part of the game if it's actually in the game.
Oh yeah.
It could be like we had it in Odyssey. That's what I was saying. It didn't play a role there, and I'm not expecting it to play a role here. And I'm also going back to the survey, which is still running, about exploration versus guided. Right.
Yeah, we have fair. Thanks for the poll, Brock, on Twitch there as well. It's kind of similar. Most people are playing exploration, which is actually surprising to me. 73%.
I said I sometimes really enjoy guided mode. Turn your brain off. Simply just
and that's kind of like with our type of like we kind of I this kind of like sounds maybe crazy, but we of course have to work on videos as well.
We have to go through the games fast.
Yeah, and sometimes, of course, wish it wasn't the case. But then having an icon to show where I have to go, like, I'm not in the mood for like playing Sherlock Holmes if I know I have to, like, if I want to get to this point in the game to be able to make my review or to be able to, make a guide on how to get this cool armor set right. So yeah, it's sadly. I'm happy that there's an option at least.
Yeah, we play games differently. That's always the case with content creation. You play with a content creation goal in mind and not with simply I'm enjoying myself goal.
I will probably still like try it, of course, because again, it seems like a lot of people are playing.
Yeah, of course. You need to try it if you want to do a review as well. You have to like at some point try it out and see how it turns out. But it's great to have an option.
Yeah, for sure.
Creator mode like in Odyssey. You mean the quest creation mode, or?
I hope so. But then for combat and stuff.
I remember you on the big stage announcing that feature. Oh yeah, I did the JorRaptor quest. Do it!
That was very, very fun. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. Also, did you guys like see that they did a competition for voice acting in the game?
That was actually kind of fun. Yeah. So.
But there was also some like negative voices about it. Ubisoft letting people work for free for them. And I myself, I was voicing Valhalla and I thought, this is a dream coming true. I can always play through the game, hear my voice in it.
But that's the thing right now. There's always going to be... And it's good to have like different voices. But at this point, there's always like people who are negative about even something as cool. Because for people who don't know, like if you would... It's like a contest. If you would win, you would be flew out. You would get like a ticket to go to London to actually record your dialogue for the game.
You get
in
a
like
vocal coaching.
Yeah, in like you get like a whole day, probably like a hotel, like you get everything.
You get
But
dinner
yeah,
for free,
You
likely.
do
with,
not get paid
Yeah.
for your role in the game, but that's like a dream come true for
but
everyone.
the
So
experience,
that's
it's
awesome.
just insane.
And people were still like, "What Ubisoft is worth?" I mean, it's probably like going to be one like soldier character or whoever it's going to be.
Maybe 1 minute of voice lines. It's
The
not even
rest-
someone stealing a job from anyone
No,
else.
no, no.
Like, yeah.
The rest of the game is fully voiced, and people are still
It's
like,
just
"Oh,
cool.
Ubisoft is letting people." I'm like,
I can totally recommend it. That should have been the recommendation of the week. Sign up for that, and get your voice into the game.
okay, that's our like, what is it called for people who are curious? Assassin's Creed Shadows. Get your voice in the game. Yeah, okay. If you search that, voice an NPC in Assassin's Creed Shadows, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The dubbing
Voice your
challenge.
NPC in,
So
and
check
you got
that
it up
out.
on Twitter, I think.
Yeah. And then on TikTok, I think you have to do like a sort of thing there.
Like a Stitch, and then you do, "Oh, I'm Eivor, I'm the badass," and it's also available in other languages. So if you're, I think, Spanish native, German native,
Yeah, that's
you can
pretty
do
cool.
that as well. They're doing it for a few. Oh, and by the way, they accidentally confirmed all the localizations with that challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
So that's also great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, prediction time.
Prediction time. So that's the recommendation of the week for this week, right? Or
Yeah,
Are we
yeah,
gonna
no,
re-
yeah. No, you can save your one for next
Yeah.
week then. The other one.
we want to do a recommendation of the week, Assassin's Creed related every week. So you have something to have fun with or
Yeah.
look forward to or to try something related. Yeah, for the prediction.
Of course, we do a prediction of what we think will be in the game at launch,
Mhm.
and then who wins has to buy the other person everything in the item shop.
What?
I say
We
it
did
every
not-
week. Oh,
No. I'm surprised again every week. But
Yeah. let's do that. Or one item pack.
one item pack is okay. You can send
Yeah.
over an invoice and I will send you some money.
Maybe you will win. I will just pay it out of my own pocket. I don't care about invoices here. Go play,
Okay.
go be like this flaming samurai or whatever they're gonna do. This demon lord. Okay, what is your
Yeah.
prediction?
I think there will be an option to make money or resources. Oh, wait. Whoa. My table is just going down. What the heck?
Whoa.
Okay. There will be an option to make money and or resources in the settlement with recruits, assassin recruits at launch.
Okay, so it's like a passive income.
Yeah, like with Monteriggioni, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that will happen?
I think there's totally a chance that it will happen. But the passive income is interesting. So it has to be money.
Money or resources?
Let's...
I mean, we don't yet know if there will be money in the game,
I mean, of course, there's gonna be currency.
if it's gonna be.
But like, I can see
relevant.
them do it for like wood or something that is needed to upgrade. I don't know, your
No,
katana.
chop.
Or yeah, like, but for money, I think they might like go against that because then you can just leave your game on and get like an unlimited amount of money. Like they are, Ubisoft usually goes against money farms. So and that's like a very exploitative thing.
But
for
you
resources,
can
I
also
don't
like
think they
cap
will
it.
care.
You can cap it. The cap is reached after 20 minutes, and if you don't get it, it's not gonna go
Okay,
further.
that's
so,
a good
yeah.
thing to add. That's a good thing to add.
So I should. And I don't add that to the prediction with the cap.
Why not? Do it.
Okay, with a cap.
We can like see when the game is out if there's because I think a resource system. Okay, you get like without the cap, but do the cap like
Money or resources, but then we agree on the cap.
Yeah. Okay, that's what.
Okay.
Yeah, money or resources. But if you go for only money, then you don't have to go for the cap.
Yeah, then let's go
I
with
think the
or.
resource is more obvious, but I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna like give you money. Maybe like as like a
Like-
one-time clear, but not like it's something you can like continuously do. That's my. But okay, that's cool. And I think there will not be any legacy outfits for Yasuke at launch.
Yeah, likely. Why? It's always like a nice promotion move later
Yeah,
on
but
when people are in the game. Yeah, it makes sense that this is not in the game at launch. And I mean, for Origins EG, they added the legacy outfit from the movie later on. I think in the first when the
no,
first DLC was released.
I think Naue will have legacy outfits, but Yasuke won't
Okay.
at launch.
So you gotta add that to the prediction.
Okay.
And now it won't.
I mean, why would I? Because then there's more chance that it won't be legit. But you did the cap as well. Okay. Yasuke will not have any legacy outfits at launch. Naue will.
Okay, yeah. Really
Because like with Naue you can like do everything. With Yasuke you can't.
Of course, yeah. It totally makes sense to give her an assassin outfit.
Yeah.
But you could also get like a legacy inspired outfit for Yasuke.
Yeah,
like
that's where I think my
outfit.
prediction can fall through. Yeah. I think they
Or
might
like-
do like a
Yeah.
remember this outfit from Odyssey that he can then use. But does it count as like a legacy outfit? We have to right now say what is a legacy outfit.
Is it the exact same outfit? Or is it an outfit inspired or heavily inspired? And maybe you gotta put it in different categories and categorize heavily
I'm
inspired.
gonna say I think that the legacy outfit is like the key outfit from an old school character.
Okay.
So
So it's not just the color code
So if
or so.
they-
It really is the outfit.
No. They can change it, but if it's like if they do like the Spartan War Hero set from Odyssey, I don't think that counts because that's not the mercenary outfit that Cassandra and Alexios like that is their key outfit, right? For Bayek, it's the Magi outfit. It's not the Anubis outfit. But I can see them. So okay, if we are that clear, then we're good. Joyce also.
They
working
have
on
to
our
at some
skills.
point, of course, put Ezio's outfit in. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my prediction is
For-
that's only for
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. And then Yasuke will get some nice warrior legacy stuff. Maybe from
Yeah, but
Eivor
that
would
doesn't
fit.
count.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Later on.
cool. Okay, we have that.
Okay, cool.
Thanks
Okay,
everyone
cool,
for
cool, cool, cool.
watching.
Watch Joyce now.
Yeah, Joyce wants to begin, so we're actually delaying it for her. Hey Joyce, you can almost start. So Mia, you're just joining. Welcome. But we're now just quitting with the show. Again, we want to be here every week, but maybe we will do like a summer break and then come back just before Gamescom to kind of do predictions for that. And then I think after Gamescom, every week makes sense. We wanted to bring in some other people as well, so like an Andy or other people that have to be in the.
Or maybe in voice actor or so. That will be interesting as well. Like someone.
Yeah, but the problem with our timing is that we are kind of like we can only like do kind of AU people because in the US it's still like very early. But we will work around that. That's for later though. We will be back next week and then maybe do like a summer break or maybe not. You will see. But thanks for joining. Stick right now though. If you're on Twitch, you don't go anywhere. If you're on YouTube, maybe Wesley or Ben can share it already. Thank you. They already did, which is nice.
The Beyond Good and Evil stream.
Yeah, Joy's gonna relive old school memories because she's gonna play the 20th anniversary edition of the game. Ubisoft sent us a code, so we appreciate that, and she's gonna play that. So have fun over there. Thanks for watching the show, and of course,
We will speak to you in the next one, and goodbye.
And check out Frankie Boy, his channel.
Thanks.